Hello, and welcome to Sleepy Science by NaemVita. Whether you're listening at the end of a long day or simply letting your thoughts slow down, this is a place where curiosity unfolds gently. There's nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember, and nothing you need to focus on. If you find your attention drifting, that's perfectly fine. Let the words become a soft background, and let your body settle into rest. Allow your breathing to soften, slow down, and become quiet, steady, and easy. I'm glad you're here. Tonight, we'll remain in this unhurried space. The story continues gently, whether you're awake or already drifting. As the pace of the day loosens its grip, small familiar rituals begin to matter again. Moments that do not ask for effort or attention, only presence. For many people, one of these moments arrives quietly in the evening, when a warm drink is prepared without hurry, and the rest of the world begins to fade into the background. A cup resting on a table, steam rising slowly into the air, hands wrapped around warmth without any particular reason to rush. These small details are easy to overlook, and that is part of what makes them calming. They ask for nothing. They do not demand improvement or understanding. They simply exist, steady and unchanged, as the night begins to take shape. Warm drinks have accompanied evenings for thousands of years, long before clocks, screens, or schedules divided time into sharp edges. In quiet homes, people learned that warmth settles the body in subtle ways. Not as a command, and not as a solution, but as a gentle signal that the active hours are ending. You don't need to imagine any specific place right now. If an image forms on its own, that's fine. If not, the sound of the words is enough. A warm cup does not hurry. It cools slowly, at its own pace, reminding the body that there is no need to be alert anymore. The simple act of holding something warm can feel grounding, as though attention naturally lowers from the mind into the hands, then further down into the body. Across many evenings, this repeated experience begins to feel familiar. Not exciting, not special, just reliably calm. Herbal drinks, in particular, belong to this quiet category. They are made from leaves, flowers, and roots that grow patiently over time, responding to light, water, and seasons without urgency. When these plants are steeped in warm water, their presence becomes softer, more diffuse, and easier to accept without thought. There is no need to name anything yet. No lists to remember. No qualities to evaluate. Just the idea of warmth meeting stillness. You may notice your breathing slow slightly as these images drift by, or you may notice nothing at all. Either way, everything is fine. Even the sound of water being poured can feel calming when there is no rush attached to it. The gentle movement, the quiet pause afterward, the way steam rises, then disappears, without leaving a trace. These moments do not build toward anything. They simply mark time as it softens. As you listen, you are free to drift in and out of attention. You don't need to follow every sentence. You don't need to remember what came before. Warm drinks in the evening are not about doing something correctly. They are about allowing something simple to happen again and again, without variation, without expectation. A small signal to the body that the night has arrived. a familiar presence that does not change, a quiet companion as the day releases its hold. And as this gentle rhythm continues, the mind can begin to rest alongside it, without effort, without direction, simply moving more slowly with each passing moment. As the evening continues, it becomes easier to notice how warmth changes the feeling of time. Not in a dramatic way, and not suddenly, but gradually, like light fading from a room without anyone turning a switch. Warmth has a quiet way of slowing things down, especially when it is held gently and without purpose. When a warm drink rests between the hands, attention often follows it naturally. There is no instruction involved, no technique to apply. The body seems to recognize the sensation on its own, responding without effort or thought. Warmth spreads slowly. It does not rush. It moves at a pace that feels safe and familiar, encouraging muscles to soften and shoulders to rest a little lower than before. This is not something you need to focus on. It happens whether you notice it or not. You may find your breathing becoming quieter as you listen, or your breathing may stay exactly the same. Both are perfectly fine. There is no correct response here. In many quiet evenings, warmth becomes a kind of background signal, not something that demands attention, but something that reassures. A steady presence that tells the body it is no longer time to be alert. Sipping slowly is part of this rhythm, though even that does not need to be deliberate. A pause between sips allows space. And in that space, the mind often loosens its grip on the day without being asked to. Herbal drinks are especially gentle in this way. They do not carry stimulation. They do not push energy forward. They simply sit, warm and mild, allowing the moment to remain exactly as it is. There is nothing to evaluate in the taste. No need to decide whether it is strong or weak, pleasant or unfamiliar. Taste can come and go without judgment, just another soft sensation passing through awareness. If your thoughts begin to wander, let them. If they fade into the background, that is fine too. The words can continue even if you are only half listening. Warmth often invites stillness, not because it forces the body to stop, but because it removes the need to keep moving. It replaces urgency with patience and activity with rest. Across cultures and generations, warm drinks have quietly marked the transition from day to night. Not as a rule, and not as a requirement, but as a habit that feels natural to return to. The repetition itself becomes calming, simply because it is familiar. You do not need to imagine any history or tradition right now. The idea alone is enough. People before you also paused in the evening, also held warmth, also allowed the day to settle. As you rest here, you are safe. There is nothing expected of you, nothing you need to prepare for. The warmth doesn't need to last forever. Even as it slowly fades, the sense of calm can remain, lingering gently, unchanged. And as this quiet presence continues, the night can feel a little steadier, a little softer, moving forward without effort, one calm moment at a time. As the night settles more fully, certain familiar names sometimes drift into awareness on their own. Not because they are important to remember, but because they have been present in quiet evenings for a long time. One of these names often arrives softly, without needing explanation or detail. Chamomile has been part of nighttime routines across many places and generations. Its presence feels gentle rather than noticeable, steady rather than distinct. It does not announce itself. It simply belongs to the evening. The small flowers themselves grow slowly, opening under sunlight, then drying patiently, waiting for their moment to be used. Nothing about their growth is rushed. Nothing about their purpose is urgent. This slow rhythm carries through even when they are steeped in warm water. A cup made from chamomile does not demand attention. Its scent is light, almost drifting, easy to miss if you are not looking for it. And that is part of what makes it calming. There is no sharpness here, no edge that asks the mind to stay alert. You do not need to picture the flowers clearly. A vague impression is enough, or no image at all. The idea of chamomile often feels comforting simply because it is familiar. Familiar things tend to feel safe. They remind the body that nothing new needs to happen right now. When the mind encounters something it already knows, it can relax its grip. There is no need to analyze or understand further. Recognition alone can be enough to invite rest. As you listen, you might notice that your thoughts come and go more slowly, or perhaps they continue as before. Either way, there is no need to adjust anything. Chamomile does not work by pushing the body in a certain direction. It does not hurry sleep or demand calm. It simply offers a mild presence, allowing the evening to remain unhurried. Across quiet kitchens and dimly lit rooms, cups like this have been prepared without ceremony. No special instructions, no expectation that something must change. Just warm water meeting dried flowers. A simple exchange that has repeated itself countless times, night after night. Repetition itself can be soothing. When the same gentle action happens again and again, the body begins to anticipate rest without needing to be told. The ritual becomes a signal, not because it is powerful, but because it is predictable. If your attention drifts away from the words now, that is perfectly fine. You can return at any point, or not at all. The sound will continue either way. As the cup cools slowly, the evening continues to deepen. Nothing is required of you. Nothing needs to be remembered. The presence of something familiar, mild, and unchanged can be enough to let the body feel settled, safe, and ready to rest, even as the night moves forward at its own gentle pace. As the evening continues to slow, other gentle plants sometimes enter the quiet background of the night. Not loudly, and not all at once, but softly, the way a familiar scent drifts through a room without asking to be noticed. Some of these plants are leaves rather than flowers, growing close to the ground, spreading calmly, responding patiently to light and water. Mint and lemon balm are often among them. Their names may already feel familiar, even if you haven't thought about them in a long time. They carry a sense of freshness, but not sharpness, a mild clarity that feels calm rather than stimulating. These plants tend to grow easily. They do not require careful attention or precise timing. They simply grow steadily, producing soft green leaves that can be touched, picked, and set aside without ceremony. Their simplicity is part of their comfort. When leaves like these are placed in warm water, their presence becomes quieter still. The brightness softens, the edges fade. What remains is a mild aroma, barely noticeable unless you pause long enough to sense it. There is no need to identify the scent, no need to decide what it reminds you of. It can simply exist, rising gently with the steam, then disappearing again. Fresh leaves carry a different kind of calm than dried flowers. They feel alive, but not active, grounded, but not heavy. They remind us of gardens, windowsills, and small pots resting quietly in corners of rooms. You might imagine leaves growing slowly in daylight, then resting in darkness at night. Or you might imagine nothing at all. Either way is fine. Mint and lemon balm have long been associated with evenings, not because they do something dramatic, but because they do very little at all. They do not excite the senses. They do not overwhelm the palate. They simply sit within the moment, offering mildness and familiarity. The idea of freshness here is not the kind that wakes you up. It is the kind that clears space, like opening a window briefly, then closing it again once the air feels settled. As the mind encounters these gentle ideas, it may begin to wander more freely. Thoughts may appear, drift, and fade without holding attention for long. This is a natural part of slowing down. If you notice yourself losing track of the words, that is a sign of comfort, not distraction. You are not missing anything important. The sound itself can remain as a soft presence in the background. Leaves, unlike flowers, are often overlooked. They grow quietly, doing their work without drawing attention. Perhaps that is why they fit so easily into the evening. A cup made from fresh leaves does not need to be strong to be present. Its warmth is enough. Its subtle scent is enough. There is no expectation attached to it, no outcome required. Across many homes, these plants have grown close to doorways and windows, brushed lightly by passing hands, gathered casually when needed. Their usefulness lies in their simplicity. You do not need to remember where they come from. You do not need to picture their shape clearly. The idea of something green, soft, and calm is enough. As the night continues, the presence of these leaves feels like an extension of the natural world settling into darkness. Plants rest, air cools, sounds soften. The body, too, can begin to follow this pattern without being asked to do so. Warmth remains steady. Scent fades in and out. Time stretches slightly, losing its sharp edges. You are safe here. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing needs to be decided. The leaves have done their quiet work simply by being what they are. And as their mild presence fades into the background, the night can continue unfolding gently, one calm breath, one soft moment at a time. As the night deepens, it can feel natural to widen the view slightly, without effort and without intention, not to gather more information, but simply to allow the mind to notice how many different forms quiet plants can take. Some arrive as flowers, others as leaves, and some come from deeper places, hidden beneath the surface, growing slowly in darkness. Roots belong to this quieter category. They develop out of sight, untouched by wind or light, shaped instead by time and soil. Nothing about their growth is hurried. They expand gradually, anchoring the plant while remaining unnoticed above ground. When roots are used in warm drinks, their presence feels steady and grounding. Not strong, not sharp, just solid, calm, and dependable. There is no need to know which root is which. No need to separate them into names or properties. The idea of something growing slowly underground is enough. Flowers, by contrast, are more visible, yet they too move at an unhurried pace. They open when conditions are right, close when they are not, responding quietly to the rhythm of the day. When dried and set aside, they wait patiently, unchanged until they are needed. Leaves sit somewhere in between. They gather light during the day, then rest at night, softening as darkness settles. Each part of the plant carries its own quiet role, none more important than the others. When warm water meets these different parts, something gentle happens. Not a transformation that needs to be noticed, but a soft blending. The edges dissolve, differences fade. What remains is warmth, scent, and stillness. A cup made from flowers, leaves, or roots does not announce its origin. It does not insist on being identified. It simply becomes part of the evening, resting quietly alongside the listener. If your thoughts begin to drift more freely now, that is perfectly fine. You are allowed to lose track of details. You are allowed to forget what has already been said. The words are not meant to be held tightly. They are meant to pass by like steam rising and disappearing. Across many evenings, people have returned to these simple plant-based drinks, not because they needed them, but because they felt familiar. Familiar things often feel safe. They do not surprise the body. They do not demand adjustment. The predictability itself becomes calming. Plants grow according to rhythms that are older than schedules. They follow cycles of light and dark, warmth and coolness, without resistance. And when they are brought into the evening in this softened form, they carry that same rhythm with them. You do not need to imagine a garden or a field. If an image comes, let it come. If not, the idea alone is enough. A root resting in soil, a leaf unfurling slowly, a flower opening, then closing again. These quiet processes continue whether or not anyone is watching. As you listen, you may feel your body becoming heavier or lighter or unchanged. There is no correct sensation. There is no response required. The evening does not ask you to participate. It simply unfolds. Warm drinks made from plants reflect this same quality. They do not push forward. They do not pull attention. They remain present without effort. If you notice the pace of your thoughts slowing, allow that to happen. If they remain active, allow that too. Both are safe. The night does not need to be managed. In these moments, the mind often begins to rest, not because it has finished thinking, but because there is nothing new asking for its attention. No sharp edges, no urgency, just warmth, just stillness, just time moving gently forward. And as the cup cools and the plant's presence fades into the background, the evening continues on its own quiet path, carrying you with it, steady and unhurried, toward rest. As evening traditions repeat themselves quietly across the world, it becomes clear that warm herbal drinks are not tied to any single place, language, or belief, but instead belong to a shared human rhythm that appears whenever the day begins to soften and activity naturally gives way to rest. In many cultures, the final hours before sleep are marked not by action, but by small pauses. And within those pauses, warm drinks often appear without instruction or ceremony. In some homes, herbs are gathered from nearby gardens, while in others they are taken from simple containers kept in cupboards for years. Yet the gesture remains the same: slow, familiar, and unhurried, carried out more from habit than intention. The preparation itself rarely changes, and because of that sameness, the body begins to recognize the moment long before the mind thinks about it. Across generations, people have returned to these evening drinks not because they promise something new, but because they offer something unchanged. The water is warmed, the plants are added, time passes quietly, nothing else is required. This repetition becomes comforting not through meaning, but through consistency. And consistency is often what allows the nervous system to settle without effort. You may notice that when you imagine these scenes, there is no urgency attached to them. No one is rushing. No one is measuring. The movements are slow because they can be, and because there is no reason for them to be otherwise. This lack of pressure is part of what makes these moments feel safe. As the evening progresses, the mind often begins to mirror what it senses. Thoughts stretch out, becoming less sharp, less insistent, drifting instead of colliding. You do not need to guide this process or make it happen. It unfolds on its own when nothing interrupts it. Herbal drinks have long been associated with the end of activity, not because they cause rest, but because they accompany it. They appear when work is finished, when lights are lowered, when voices soften, and when the outside world feels more distant. Over time, the body begins to associate these gentle signals with safety and stillness. In some places, these drinks are shared quietly with others, while in other places they are enjoyed alone. But the feeling they create remains similar, a sense that the day has completed its cycle and no longer requires attention. The cup becomes part of the background, something that can be held or set down without thought. If your awareness drifts as you listen now, allow it to do so. There is no need to stay focused. The sound of the words can remain present even if their meaning fades, just as a familiar melody can continue playing long after the mind stops following it. Across time, humans have learned that evenings do not need to be filled. They can simply be occupied by warmth, quiet, and the absence of demand. Herbal drinks fit naturally into this space because they do not add stimulation. They simply accompany what is already happening. The plants themselves have followed these rhythms long before humans noticed them. They grow during the day, rest at night, and repeat this cycle without resistance. When they are brought into the evening as a warm drink, they carry this rhythm with them, offering a quiet reminder that rest is not something to achieve, but something to return to. You may feel your breathing slow, or you may not notice it at all. Either experience is fine. The body knows how to move toward rest when nothing stands in its way. As cultures differ, the details change, but the pattern remains. Evening arrives. Activity fades. Warmth appears. Stillness follows. These simple sequences repeat themselves across continents and centuries, forming a shared language that does not need words. There is nothing you need to take from this moment, nothing you need to remember later. The calm doesn't depend on understanding or belief. It exists simply because the conditions allow it to. And as this quiet understanding settles in, the evening can continue unfolding gently, without effort, without direction, carrying you forward at its own slow pace, supported by warmth, repetition, and the soft familiarity of night. As the evening grows quieter, attention often begins to settle on sounds that might have gone unnoticed earlier in the day. Sounds that do not demand reaction or interpretation, but simply exist as part of the background, steady and familiar, moving gently through the space without interruption. Among these, the sound of water being poured slowly becomes one of the most calming, not because it is special, but because it is predictable and soft, carrying no urgency with it. When warm water meets a cup, there is a brief moment where movement is visible and sound is present. And then, almost immediately, everything returns to stillness. The pour ends, the surface becomes calm again. Steam rises quietly and fades into the air, leaving no trace behind. This simple sequence unfolds the same way each time, and because of that sameness, it offers the mind nothing new to solve. The sound itself is gentle and contained, neither loud nor sharp, and it fades naturally rather than stopping abruptly. It begins, flows, and then disappears, mirroring the way thoughts can soften when they are no longer being held tightly. There is no need to listen closely. The sound can simply pass through awareness and continue on its way. Steam adds another layer to this moment, though it does so almost invisibly. It rises slowly, twisting and dissolving without direction, reminding the body that movement does not always need purpose. It moves because warmth allows it to, and then it fades because nothing holds it in place. There is something reassuring about this quiet behavior, something that signals safety without explanation. As you imagine these moments, you may notice that your body responds without instruction. Shoulders may lower slightly. Breathing may become less pronounced, or nothing may change at all. All responses are welcome. There is no outcome required. In many evenings, these small sounds mark a transition that does not need to be announced. The day has not ended suddenly. It has simply loosened its grip. The night has not arrived with force. It has arrived gently through small signals like warmth, steam, and quiet movement. The sound of pouring water does not ask the mind to stay alert. It does not introduce complexity. It follows a familiar pattern that the body already understands. Begin, flow, end, rest. This simple structure allows the nervous system to settle without effort. If your thoughts wander while you listen, that is part of the process. Thoughts are allowed to come and go without being followed. The words do not need to be held onto. They can fade in and out, just like steam in the air. Even the brief pause after pouring holds a kind of calm. The cup rests. The surface is still. Heat remains, but movement has ended. This pause doesn't need to be filled. It exists on its own, complete and sufficient. In quiet rooms, sounds like these often become more noticeable precisely because nothing else competes with them. There are fewer voices, fewer movements, fewer interruptions. The world narrows gently, not by force, but by absence. As the evening progresses, these small sensory experiences begin to blend together. Warmth, sound, stillness. None of them dominate. None of them demand attention. Together they create an environment where the mind no longer needs to stay alert. You may notice moments where you are listening clearly, followed by moments where the words blur slightly or fade into the background. This is a natural rhythm, and you do not need to correct it. The sound can continue even if awareness drifts. Across many nights, the repetition of these quiet moments teaches the body something simple and important: that it is safe to rest, that nothing urgent is approaching, and that time is allowed to move slowly. These lessons do not need to be learned consciously. They settle in through repetition and familiarity. The sound of water pouring and the sight of steam rising do not try to calm you. They simply exist, and in doing so, they create space for calm to appear on its own. There is no instruction hidden in them, no expectation attached. As you remain here, you are free to let go of focus entirely, if that feels comfortable. The night does not require your attention. The words can remain as a soft presence, steady and unchanging. And as these gentle sounds fade back into stillness, the evening continues its quiet progression, carrying warmth forward, allowing movement to slow, and giving the body permission to rest more deeply, without effort, without direction, simply following the natural rhythm of night. As the night continues to unfold, attention may drift toward subtler experiences, ones that do not announce themselves clearly, but instead remain gently in the background, present without insisting on being noticed. Taste belongs to this quieter category in the evening, especially when it arrives without intensity or contrast, offering nothing sharp or surprising for the mind to hold on to. Herbal drinks often rest in a narrow space between flavors, neither strongly bitter nor distinctly sweet, but mild, balanced, and soft enough to fade from awareness if you stop paying attention to them. This gentleness is part of their comfort. There is nothing to evaluate, nothing to decide, and no reason to focus closely on what the tongue senses. As the warmth spreads, flavor becomes less important than sensation. The body notices temperature before taste, and even that awareness softens over time. Each sip blends into the next, creating a steady continuity rather than a sequence of separate moments. The mind is free to drift because nothing is changing enough to demand attention. Some evenings carry a faint sweetness, while others feel more neutral, almost plain, yet neither requires interpretation. Taste in this setting does not communicate urgency or novelty. It simply exists, then fades, leaving space behind it. This absence of strong contrast allows the nervous system to remain settled rather than alert. If you notice yourself forgetting what the drink tastes like between sips, that is a sign of comfort rather than distraction. Familiar sensations do not need to be tracked or remembered. They pass through awareness quietly, doing their work without leaving a trace. In the evening, mild flavors often feel more appropriate than bold ones, not because they are better, but because they do not stimulate curiosity or analysis. They do not invite comparison or judgment. They allow the mind to remain open and unfocused, moving gently rather than reacting. Across many quiet nights, people have gravitated toward these softer tastes without thinking about why. Over time, the body learns that strong flavors belong to daylight and activity, while subtle ones belong to slowing down. This learning happens gradually, through repetition rather than instruction. You may find that as the drink cools, the flavor changes slightly, becoming less noticeable with each passing moment. This fading does not require attention. It mirrors the way thoughts often lose their sharp edges as the night deepens, becoming less defined and easier to release. There is no need to savor deliberately. There is no correct pace. You can sip slowly, quickly, or not at all. The experience does not depend on participation. It unfolds whether or not you are paying attention. If your awareness drifts away from the words now, allow it to happen. The meaning does not need to be followed. The sound itself can remain present as a gentle background, steady and unchanging. Mild flavors create space rather than filling it. They leave room for stillness, for silence, for the absence of thought. In this space, the body often feels safer, more settled, and less inclined to remain alert. As the evening moves forward, taste becomes less central, gradually dissolving into warmth and quiet. The cup rests. The air remains still. Time stretches slightly, losing its urgency. You are not required to notice when the last sip happens. You are not required to decide when to set the cup down. These actions can occur without awareness, guided by habit rather than intention. Across cultures and generations, people have ended their days with mild, unassuming flavors, not because they offered something exciting, but because they did not. They signaled that nothing new was coming, that the evening could remain simple and unchanged. As you rest here, the gentle presence of taste can fade completely, leaving only warmth, stillness, and the quiet sense that the night is continuing exactly as it should. Nothing is missing. Nothing needs to be added. And as this soft balance settles in, the mind is free to loosen further, drifting comfortably alongside the steady rhythm of the evening, supported by familiarity, mildness, and the quiet absence of demand. As the night grows deeper, there is often a noticeable absence that begins to feel comforting rather than empty, an absence of stimulation, of urgency, and of anything that pulls attention sharply forward. In the evening, this absence can be felt most clearly in what is no longer present. And for many people, that quiet space appears when the day's sources of stimulation have gently fallen away. Herbal drinks belong to this space because they arrive without energy attached to them. They do not push the body forward or lift the mind upward. Instead, they settle quietly into the background, allowing the nervous system to remain at ease rather than on alert. This quality is not something that needs to be explained or analyzed. It is simply noticed, then accepted. During the day, the body often adapts to stimulation without realizing it. Activity, light, sound, and flavor all contribute to a state of readiness that feels normal while it is happening. But as evening arrives, that readiness becomes unnecessary, and the body begins to recognize when stimulation is no longer required. The absence of caffeine in herbal drinks fits naturally into this transition, not as a rule to follow, and not as a restriction, but as part of a larger pattern of slowing down. Nothing is being removed forcefully. The stimulation simply does not arrive. Without stimulation pressing forward, thoughts often begin to lengthen and soften. They move more slowly, touching lightly on memory or sensation before drifting away. The mind does not need to be guided toward this state. It happens naturally when there is nothing urging it to remain alert. If you notice your thoughts becoming less defined, or if they seem to pause between moments, allow that space to remain open. There is no need to fill it. The quiet itself is enough. Herbal drinks do not create stillness on their own. Instead, they support what is already happening in the evening. As lights dim and sounds fade, the body senses that the day is complete. The drink becomes one more gentle signal that nothing else is expected. You may feel your breathing deepen slightly, or you may not notice any change at all. Both experiences are safe. The body adjusts in its own time, responding to the absence of pressure rather than to instruction. Across many nights, the repeated experience of evenings without stimulation begins to feel familiar. The body learns that certain moments are meant for rest simply because they always have been. This learning happens quietly, without conscious effort. As you listen now, you are free to drift. You do not need to stay connected to each sentence. The words can fade into the background, becoming part of the same quiet space as the warmth, the stillness, and the absence of urgency. The cup may rest nearby, untouched for long moments at a time. There is no need to finish it. There is no need to notice when it cools completely. Time moves forward whether or not you are aware of it. In this space, where stimulation has fallen away, the body often begins to feel heavier, more settled, and less inclined to remain alert. This heaviness is not forced. It arrives naturally when there is nothing to resist. Evenings like this do not ask for productivity or attention. They offer rest without requirement. The absence of stimulation becomes a presence in itself, steady and reassuring. You are safe here. There is nothing you need to prepare for, nothing that needs to be done. The night continues on its own, carrying you gently forward. And as this quiet absence remains, the mind is free to soften further, resting comfortably within the calm that comes not from doing something, but from allowing stimulation to fade away, leaving only stillness and time moving slowly toward sleep. As evenings repeat themselves over time, the body begins to recognize patterns long before the mind does, responding quietly to familiar sequences without needing explanation or intention. One of the most comforting patterns is repetition itself, the gentle return of the same actions, the same sensations, and the same calm signals, appearing night after night in nearly identical ways. When the same warm drink appears in the evening again and again, it stops being something to notice and becomes something to expect, not with anticipation, but with ease. The body learns that nothing new is required in these moments. The repetition removes uncertainty, and without uncertainty, the need to remain alert slowly fades. There is comfort in sameness, especially at the end of the day. Familiar objects, familiar movements, and familiar sensations allow the mind to rest because they do not introduce novelty. They ask for no decisions. They do not require adjustment. They simply arrive as they always have. A cup placed in the same spot. Warmth felt in the same way. Steam rising briefly, then disappearing. These details do not change enough to hold attention, and that is precisely why they are calming. The nervous system relaxes when it knows what comes next, even if the mind is not consciously aware of that knowledge. Repetition does not dull experience in the evening. Instead, it softens it. Each repeated action becomes smoother, quieter, and less noticeable, allowing awareness to drift more freely. The body settles into these patterns naturally without being guided. You do not need to create rituals deliberately. They form on their own through repetition. What begins as a simple action slowly becomes a signal, not because of meaning, but because of consistency. The same behavior, repeated gently, teaches the body when it is safe to rest. As you listen now, you may notice the words becoming more predictable, flowing in a steady rhythm without surprises. This predictability is intentional. It allows the mind to loosen its grip, knowing that nothing abrupt will appear. If your attention fades, allow it to fade. The repetition does not require awareness to work. It supports calm, whether or not you are paying attention. Across many evenings, these repeated moments gather quietly, layering comfort over time. No single night creates rest on its own. Instead, rest builds gradually through familiar experiences that never demand effort. The repetition of warmth, mild taste, and quiet sound becomes part of the evening landscape. It blends with dimmer light, slower movement, and softer thought. Together, these elements create an environment where alertness feels unnecessary. You may feel a sense of ease simply knowing what this moment contains. Nothing unexpected, nothing urgent, nothing new to manage. Repetition also removes choice. When the same thing happens each evening, there is nothing to decide. The body is free from the small tensions that come with decision-making, even when those decisions feel minor. As the cup rests, as the warmth remains steady, and as the evening continues in its familiar way, the body receives a simple message. This moment is safe, and nothing more is required. If thoughts appear, they can pass through without staying. If silence appears, it can remain unfilled. Both belong here equally. The night does not ask for variety. It welcomes consistency. And within that consistency, the mind often finds permission to let go. As this repeated pattern continues, calm deepens not through effort, but through familiarity, allowing the evening to move forward smoothly, gently, and without interruption, carrying you along its steady path toward rest. As the evening remains settled and unhurried, attention may drift toward the quiet presence of plants themselves, not as something distant or abstract, but as something close and familiar, growing quietly within everyday spaces. Some plants live outdoors in wide open areas, while others rest much closer, on windowsills, balconies, or small corners of rooms, continuing their slow rhythm without drawing attention to themselves. Herbs grown at home often carry this feeling of closeness. They do not arrive suddenly or dramatically. They grow at their own pace, responding to light, water, and time in a steady way that does not change from day to day. Watching them is not necessary for them to grow. They continue whether or not they are noticed. These small plants often become part of the background of daily life. They are passed by, brushed lightly by air or movement, and left to rest quietly until needed. There is comfort in this quiet persistence, in knowing that something is growing slowly nearby without requiring care in every moment. When herbs are grown at home, they do not need to be harvested with intention or precision. A few leaves can be taken casually without measurement or planning. The act does not need to be repeated perfectly. The plants adapt and continue. This ease mirrors the feeling of the evening itself. Nothing requires exactness. Nothing demands attention. The presence of living plants simply adds to the sense that life continues gently, even as activity fades. As you imagine these plants resting nearby, you do not need to picture their details clearly. The idea of something green, alive, and steady is enough. Or you may imagine nothing at all. Both are welcome. Homegrown herbs do not carry the feeling of urgency. They are not rushed. They are not expected to perform. They exist quietly within the same space where rest takes place. In the evening, this closeness can feel grounding. It connects the indoor space with the natural world outside without requiring movement or effort. Plants bridge this space gently, reminding the body that growth and rest follow the same rhythm. If your thoughts drift away from the words now, allow them to do so. The presence of plants doesn't need to be understood. It is felt or not felt without consequence. Across many nights, the sight or even the idea of plants nearby can signal stability. They remain in place. They continue their slow process. Nothing about them demands change. This sense of stability often transfers quietly to the body. Muscles soften, breathing settles, or nothing changes at all. All responses are fine. The evening does not require participation. It allows you to exist within it without doing anything. Plants share this quality. They do not strive. They simply continue. As the night deepens, the presence of homegrown herbs becomes part of the larger pattern of calm. Warmth, stillness, repetition, and life all blend together without distinction. You do not need to remember where the plants are. You do not need to check on them. They remain steady whether or not they are noticed. And as this quiet sense of closeness remains, the evening can continue unfolding gently, supported by living things that grow slowly. Rest fully, and ask nothing in return, allowing the body and mind to settle more deeply into the calm rhythm of night. As the warmth of the evening remains steady, attention may turn inward in a gentle way. not to examine the body, but to notice how it naturally responds when nothing is being asked of it. Without effort or intention, the body begins to follow the same slow rhythm that surrounds it, settling gradually as stimulation fades and stillness becomes more present. Warmth plays a quiet role in this process. It does not act quickly, and it does not force change. Instead, it remains constant, allowing muscles to soften over time and encouraging the body to rest more fully in its own weight. This response does not require awareness. It happens whether or not it is noticed. As the body becomes more comfortable, breathing often adjusts on its own. It may deepen slightly or become less pronounced, or it may remain unchanged. There is no correct pattern here. The body finds its own balance when nothing interferes. You do not need to follow your breath or guide it in any way. The evening itself provides enough structure. Warmth, quiet, and the absence of urgency create conditions where the body knows what to do. The gentle settling of the body can feel like a gradual release rather than a single moment. Tension does not disappear suddenly. It softens little by little, often without being noticed until it is already gone. If thoughts continue to appear, allow them to pass through without engagement. The body does not require the mind to be quiet in order to rest. It responds primarily to safety, consistency, and the lack of demand. Across many nights, the body learns to associate these evening conditions with rest, not through instruction, but through repetition. When the same signals appear again and again, the body begins to relax earlier and more easily. As you listen now, you may feel a sense of heaviness or lightness, or you may feel nothing distinct at all. All experiences are acceptable. The body adjusts in its own time. Warm drinks, soft light, and quiet surroundings work together without coordination. They do not need to be managed. They simply exist, and the body responds naturally to their presence. You are safe in this moment. There is nothing you need to prepare for, nothing you need to remember later. The body does not need direction to move toward rest. Even if the mind remains active, the body can still settle. These processes are separate. The evening does not require perfect stillness to be effective. As the warmth remains, the body continues to soften, guided by familiarity rather than effort. Each moment adds to the sense of ease, even if it is not noticed consciously. If your awareness drifts away from the words now, that is perfectly fine. The sound can remain in the background, steady and unchanging. And as the body rests more fully within the calm of the evening, the night continues its gentle progression, carrying warmth, stillness, and safety forward together, allowing rest to deepen naturally, without instruction, without pressure, simply following the quiet rhythm that has always been there. As the evening continues without interruption, there is often a moment when the warmth that was once noticeable begins to fade quietly into the background, not disappearing all at once, but softening gradually, the way light dims slowly rather than switching off. This gentle cooling carries its own sense of calm, signaling that time is moving forward without urgency and without demand. A cup left untouched for a while begins to change almost imperceptibly. The steam thins, then vanishes. The surface cools. The warmth remains, but in a quieter form, no longer asking to be noticed. This process unfolds on its own, requiring no attention and no intervention. Cooling is not a loss, it is simply a continuation. The warmth has done what it needed to do, and now it settles into stillness. This slow transition mirrors the way the body often settles in the evening, moving from activity into rest without a clear dividing line. There is comfort in watching something cool naturally. Nothing is forced, nothing is hurried. The change happens because time allows it, not because anything is done to make it happen. This lack of effort is part of what makes the moment feel safe. As the cup cools, the body may respond in small, quiet ways. Muscles may relax a little further. Breathing may slow slightly, or nothing may change at all. All responses are welcome. The body moves toward rest in its own way. You do not need to notice the exact moment when the warmth fades. You do not need to keep track of time. The evening unfolds whether or not you are aware of its passing. The mind often follows this same pattern. Thoughts that once felt warm and active gradually cool, becoming less vivid and less insistent. They drift by without pulling attention, fading into the background like steam dissolving into air. If your awareness drifts now, allow it to do so. There is no need to remain present for each sentence. The sound of the words can continue, even if their meaning softens. Cooling also creates space. As sensations become less pronounced, the mind has fewer details to hold on to. In that space, stillness can appear naturally, without being invited. Across many nights, the body learns that this gradual cooling is part of the rhythm of rest. Not something to avoid, and not something to manage, but something to move with. The absence of strong sensation becomes comforting rather than empty. As you rest here, you may notice moments where you are not thinking about anything at all, or you may notice thoughts passing without connection. Both experiences are fine. Neither requires attention. The evening does not need to be filled. It allows space to remain open. Cooling, quiet, and stillness work together to create an environment where alertness is no longer necessary. There is nothing you need to do as this happens. Nothing you need to change. The process continues whether or not it is noticed. As the warmth settles fully into stillness, the body often feels more grounded, more at ease with its own weight. This grounding does not come from effort. It arrives naturally when there is nothing to resist. The cup can remain where it is. The room remains quiet. Time moves forward gently, without sharp edges. And as this slow cooling continues, both outside and within, the night carries on in its own calm way, allowing sensation to fade, thought to soften, and rest to deepen. One quiet moment at a time, without instruction, without expectation, simply following the steady rhythm of night. As the evening stretches further into quiet, moments of stillness begin to appear naturally between small actions, and these pauses often carry more calm than the actions themselves. In the gentle space between one sip and the next, or between setting something down and noticing it again, time seems to slow just enough for the body and mind to rest without effort. These pauses do not need to be filled. They exist on their own, complete and sufficient. Nothing is missing from them. Nothing needs to be added. In these spaces, awareness can soften, drifting without direction, free from the need to respond or react. Between sips, the cup rests quietly. The hands relax. The room remains unchanged. This absence of movement creates a sense of safety because nothing unexpected is happening. The body recognizes this stability and responds by letting go of small, unnoticed tensions. Pauses like these allow the nervous system to settle further. When nothing moves, nothing demands attention. The mind is free to wander or rest, knowing that it doesn't need to remain alert. If you notice your thoughts slowing during these moments, allow that to happen. If your thoughts continue to move, allow that too. The pause does not require stillness. It allows whatever is present to be exactly as it is. In the evening, pauses become more frequent. Activities naturally stretch out, leaving more space between them. This spacing does not need to be planned. It emerges as the day releases its hold. The space between moments can feel almost weightless. Without pressure, the mind no longer needs to grip tightly. Awareness loosens, becoming softer, less defined. You may notice that during these pauses, the sound of the words fades slightly, blending into the background. This is not a problem. The sound can remain without being followed. The pause holds everything it needs. Between sips, there is often a moment where nothing happens at all. No movement, no thought that needs to be completed. These moments do not stand out. They slip by quietly, unnoticed, and that is what makes them restful. As the evening continues, these pauses grow longer. The need to act diminishes. The desire to fill time fades. What remains is a gentle openness, where the body feels supported by stillness rather than bored by it. Pauses also allow the body to register comfort. Without constant movement, the body becomes more aware of warmth, of softness, of its own weight resting against chairs or bedding. This awareness does not require focus. It simply arises. If your awareness drifts away from the words now, that is perfectly fine. You are allowed to rest within the pause. The sound can continue even if attention fades. Across many nights, these small pauses become familiar. The body learns that they signal safety and rest. No instruction is needed. The pattern is enough. As pauses deepen, time seems less defined. Minutes stretch gently. There is no urgency to move forward. The evening does not push. It allows. The cup remains. The room remains. The night remains steady. And as these quiet pauses continue to open and expand, the body and mind are carried further into stillness, supported by the simple space between moments where nothing needs to happen, and rest can settle naturally, without effort, without direction, simply existing within the calm rhythm of night. As the evening reaches its quietest hours, there is often a subtle shift in how moments are experienced, a sense that nothing more needs to happen and nothing more needs to be achieved. The day has already unfolded as it did, and the night does not ask for explanation or resolution. In this space, the idea of expectation begins to fade naturally. Without expectations, the mind no longer needs to measure time or outcome. There is no need to fall asleep quickly. No need to feel rested yet, and no need to notice progress. The evening becomes simply a place to be, steady and unchanged, allowing rest to appear in its own way. Herbal drinks fit gently into this atmosphere because they carry no demands. They do not promise results or require attention. They are present without expectation, warming quietly, then cooling, then fading into the background without ceremony. When expectations fall away, the body often responds with ease. Muscles soften because there is nothing to prepare for. Breathing settles because there is no need to stay alert. These changes do not need to be noticed. They occur whether or not awareness is present. If thoughts arise about sleep, allow them to pass without following them. There is no requirement to reach a certain state. Rest does not need to be achieved. It happens naturally when conditions allow. The evening offers permission to stop trying, to stop adjusting, to stop managing. In this permission, the nervous system finds safety because nothing is being asked of it. As you listen now, you may feel moments where awareness drifts completely. You may not remember the last sentence or notice when the sound fades into the background. This drifting is not something to correct. It is a sign that the mind feels free to let go. Without expectations, time loses its sharp edges. Minutes blend together. There is no need to track them. The night moves forward gently, without announcing itself. The absence of expectation also creates space for comfort. When nothing needs to happen next, the present moment becomes enough. Warmth, stillness, and quiet coexist without tension. You do not need to finish the drink. You do not need to decide when to set it aside. Actions can occur without thought, guided by habit rather than intention. Across many evenings, the practice of letting go of expectations becomes familiar. The body learns that nighttime does not demand productivity or awareness. It invites rest simply by being what it is. If your mind remains active, that is fine. If it quiets, that is fine too. The night accommodates both. There is no wrong experience here. As expectations dissolve, the body no longer resists the natural pull of rest. It settles not because it is told to, but because nothing is holding it awake. You are safe in this moment. There is nothing you need to accomplish, nothing you need to remember later. The night carries on quietly, holding everything in place. And as this absence of expectation remains, the mind and body are free to soften further, resting comfortably within the calm that comes not from effort, but from allowing the evening to unfold exactly as it is, steady, gentle, and complete. As the night continues to hold its steady calm, it can feel natural to return once more to the simplest elements that have been present all along, not as something to analyze, but as something quietly dependable. Water, plants, and time move together in the evening without effort, forming a gentle background that does not change suddenly or demand attention. Water itself carries a sense of continuity. It warms, cools, and settles without resistance, responding only to its surroundings. It does not hurry. It does not pause with intention. It moves according to simple conditions, allowing the body to mirror that same ease when nothing interferes. Plants, too, follow this rhythm. They grow slowly, rest quietly and repeat their cycles without concern for outcome. Leaves gather light during the day, then release that activity at night, remaining still until morning returns. This steady pattern continues whether or not it is noticed. When water and plants meet in the evening, the result is not something dramatic. There is no transformation that needs to be observed. Instead, there is a quiet blending, where warmth carries the presence of leaves or flowers gently into the moment, then fades without leaving a mark. Time moves in the same way. It passes without being pushed. It stretches slightly as activity slows, losing the sharp divisions that mark the daytime hours. Minutes blend together softly, making it unnecessary to keep track of them. As you listen now, you may notice moments where awareness feels suspended, neither fully attentive nor completely absent. This in-between state does not need to be named. It is simply part of the evening's rhythm. Water, plants, and time do not require effort to work together. They follow patterns that are older than routine or habit. When the evening is quiet enough, the body often recognizes these patterns instinctively, settling into them without instruction. If your thoughts drift toward simple images, like leaves resting or water cooling, allow them to pass through gently. If no images appear, that is equally fine. The presence of the words alone is enough. Nothing about this moment needs to be remembered. There is no sequence to follow. The calm does not depend on understanding how these elements interact. It exists because nothing is interrupting it. The body often responds to this simplicity by becoming more comfortable in stillness. Weight settles, muscles relax, or nothing changes at all. Every response is welcome. As the evening deepens, the blending of these elements becomes less noticeable. Warmth fades, sensation softens, time becomes less distinct. The mind no longer needs to track what is happening. You may find that you are no longer aware of when one thought ends and another begins. This soft continuity does not need to be corrected. It is part of resting. Water continues to cool. Plants continue to rest. Time continues to pass. None of these processes require attention. They simply happen. The evening does not ask for participation. It allows everything to unfold naturally, without expectation or urgency. As you remain here, supported by simplicity, the body and mind are free to follow the same quiet rhythm, settling gently into rest, carried forward by elements that have always known how to move slowly, steadily, and without effort, one calm moment at a time. As the night becomes more settled, there are sensations that remain present even when they are barely noticed, drifting softly through the space and then fading again without leaving a clear impression. Scent belongs to this category, especially in the evening, when the air is still and nothing moves quickly enough to disturb it. Herbal scents do not linger loudly. They appear gently, often noticed only for a moment before blending back into the background. A faint trace rises with warmth, then dissolves, leaving the air unchanged. This subtle movement does not demand attention. It simply exists, then passes. Unlike strong fragrances that hold the mind in place, gentle herbal scents allow awareness to remain open and unfocused. They do not invite analysis. They do not trigger memory sharply. They hover briefly, then disappear, making room for stillness rather than filling it. As you imagine these faint scents, there is no need to identify them. No need to connect them to a specific plant or memory. The idea of something soft and natural moving quietly through the air is enough. Scent often reaches awareness before thought does. It is felt rather than processed. And because it does not require language, it can calm without explanation. The body receives it as information without urgency, registering safety rather than stimulation. In the evening, the air itself feels slower. Without heat, movement, or sound to disturb it, scent becomes almost weightless, drifting at its own pace. It appears when conditions allow, then fades when they change. You may notice moments where the idea of scent is present, followed by moments where it is gone completely. This coming and going does not need to be tracked. It mirrors the way thoughts soften and dissolve when nothing holds them in place. If your awareness drifts now, allow it. The scent doesn't need to be followed. The words do not need to be remembered. Everything can remain as background. Across many quiet nights, gentle scents become associated with rest simply because they appear when nothing else is happening. They do not create calm, they accompany it. The body often responds to these subtle signals without instruction. Breathing may slow slightly, or it may remain unchanged. Muscles may soften, or they may already be at ease. All responses are natural. Scent does not need to last to be effective. Even brief moments can leave a sense of quiet behind, not as a memory, but as a feeling of openness and ease. As the night deepens, the air remains calm. Nothing stirs it sharply. The space holds stillness easily, without effort. You do not need to remain present for these moments. You are free to drift entirely, allowing awareness to float without direction. The night supports this softness. Herbal scents fade naturally, without endings or transitions. They do not announce when they leave. They simply become absent, leaving the air unchanged. And as this gentle absence remains, the evening continues in its quiet rhythm, allowing sensation to soften, awareness to loosen, and rest to deepen naturally, carried by subtle signals that come and go without demand, without effort, and without needing to be noticed at all. As the night continues to hold its quiet shape, many sensations that were once more noticeable begin to settle into the background, becoming part of the atmosphere rather than something distinct. Warmth, scent, and sound no longer stand apart. They blend together gently, creating a steady presence that does not draw attention to itself. Herbal drinks often become part of this background comfort. At first, they are noticed as warmth or taste, but over time, they fade into the surrounding calm, no longer requiring awareness. The cup may still be nearby, but it no longer calls for interaction. It simply exists, resting quietly within the space. This fading into the background is not a loss. It is a sign that nothing needs to be held in focus anymore. When sensations stop demanding attention, the mind is free to rest without effort. Background comfort does not announce itself. It does not arrive with change or contrast. It remains steady, allowing the body to relax because there is nothing to respond to. This steadiness feels safe, predictable, and familiar. As you listen now, you may notice that the words themselves begin to function in the same way. they may blend into the background, becoming more like sound than meaning. This is intentional. You are not meant to follow every idea. The sound alone is enough. If your awareness drifts completely for a moment, that is welcome here. There is no need to return quickly. The night does not require alertness. The body often responds to background comfort by becoming heavier, more settled, and less inclined to move. This does not need to be noticed. It happens naturally when nothing interrupts it. Across many evenings, people have learned to trust this quiet support. They do not seek stimulation at this hour. They allow the environment to hold them instead. Herbal drinks fit easily into this role because they do not change suddenly. They do not demand completion. They simply remain until they are no longer noticed. The air stays still. The room stays unchanged. Time moves forward without being marked. Everything continues quietly, without effort. If thoughts appear, they can float past without engagement. If silence appears, it can remain. Both belong to the background. The absence of demand creates space for rest to deepen. Without anything pulling attention forward, the mind naturally loosens its grip. As you rest here, you are safe. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be remembered. The night holds everything steady. And as this background comfort continues, the evening carries you forward gently, allowing awareness to soften, sensation to fade, and rest to deepen naturally, supported by the quiet presence of warmth, stillness, and time, moving slowly, without urgency, without direction, and without interruption. As the night moves toward its later hours, there is often a feeling that the day has fully released its hold, not through any clear moment or signal, but through a gradual softening that leaves everything quieter than before. Activity has slowed, sensations have settled, and what remains is a gentle stillness that feels complete on its own. In this stage of the evening, there is nothing left to finish. The body no longer anticipates what comes next. It rests within the present moment without waiting for change. Time feels less important here, stretching gently without direction, allowing each moment to blend smoothly into the next. Herbal drinks, now fully part of the background, may no longer be noticed at all. The cup can remain untouched, its warmth faded, its presence quiet. There is no need to check it or move it. It belongs to the evening simply by being there. This sense of completion does not come from accomplishment. It arrives naturally when nothing remains unfinished in the body's awareness. The nervous system recognizes that there are no demands ahead, and in response, it releases the need to stay alert. If your thoughts drift now, allow them to wander freely. They may slow, pause, or fade entirely. None of these experiences require attention. The mind is allowed to rest without explanation. The air remains calm. Sounds, if they appear at all, are distant and soft, blending into the stillness rather than interrupting it. Light is dim and steady, offering no contrast that would pull attention forward. As you listen, you may notice moments where awareness feels almost suspended, as if nothing is being observed clearly. This is a natural part of deepening rest. There is no need to hold on to the words. The sound can continue on its own. In these late moments of evening, the body often feels more settled in its own weight. Muscles no longer hold tension unnecessarily. Breathing becomes quiet and unforced, or nothing changes at all. Every response is welcome. Across many nights, the body learns to recognize this stage of the evening. It knows when activity has truly ended, not by checking the time, but by sensing the absence of demand. This recognition allows rest to deepen naturally. There is no need to guide yourself toward sleep. Sleep does not need to be reached. It arrives when conditions allow, and those conditions are already present here. You are safe in this moment. Nothing is expected of you. The night does not ask for attention, effort, or awareness. It simply holds everything gently in place. As the evening settles fully into stillness, thoughts soften further, sensations fade, and the body rests comfortably within the calm that surrounds it. There is no urgency. There is no direction to follow. And as this quiet completeness remains, the night continues on its steady path, allowing rest to deepen without instruction, without pressure, and without interruption, carried gently by time as it moves forward slowly, smoothly, and peacefully toward sleep. As the night settles into its deepest quiet, there is often a sense that everything has found its place without effort, as though the world has gently arranged itself and no longer needs attention. Nothing is moving quickly now. Nothing is waiting to happen. The evening has completed its slow transition, and what remains is a steady calm that does not change. In moments like this, awareness often becomes softer, less defined, drifting easily between sound, sensation, and silence. There is no need to hold on to any particular thought. The mind can rest lightly, knowing that nothing important will be missed. The story of this evening has never been about reaching an ending. It has been about moving gradually, without direction, from activity into rest, guided by warmth, familiarity, and repetition. Each small moment has blended into the next, forming a quiet narrative that does not require memory or understanding. If you notice yourself only half listening now, that is perfectly fine. The sound of the words can remain as a gentle presence, like a distant voice that does not ask for response. You are free to drift completely, allowing the night to continue without your awareness. Warmth has faded into stillness. Sensations have softened. The body rests comfortably within its own weight, supported by the quiet around it. Breathing moves naturally, without guidance, steady and unforced. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to prepare for. The evening has created all the conditions needed for rest simply by slowing down. As this calm continues, the story does not conclude with a clear ending. It dissolves gently, the way daylight dissolves into dusk, without a single moment where one becomes the other. The words become fewer. The space between them grows wider. You do not need to stay awake for this. You do not need to notice when sleep arrives. The night knows how to carry you there on its own. If sleep has already begun to appear, you are welcome to let go completely. If you remain awake, that is fine too. The quiet does not change either way. Thank you for spending this time here, resting within this gentle rhythm. Wherever you are listening from, you are safe, and the night continues calmly around you. There is nothing more to follow now, nothing more to listen for. The story fades softly into silence, and the rest of the night is free to unfold on its own, steady, quiet, and unhurried. Good night.